Hello and welcome to Developers Tell My Newton School. I'm 𝐏𝐚𝐲 and I'm a front-end developer. Today we are going to complete the series for NFT website. So far you have the entire website created, just the info section and the footer is remaining. We'll be completing that in this video. If you haven't watched the previous videos, go back and code along with me in all those previous videos. And before we start, make sure that you have liked this video, you are subscribed to the channel, because I promise you that every time you visit my channel, you learn something new. Before getting along with the coding, make sure that you have checked out Newton School. Newton School is a platform where they teach you full stack development and they promise you that you'll get a job of minimum 5 lakh rupees. The best part is that you don't have to pay even a single penny unless and until you get a job there. So make sure that you check them out. The link will be in the description below. Let's get started with the footer and the info section of NFT website. Let's go. Perfect. Now we have the trending section built. We have the top fold built. We have the header built. Now we just have to create the info section and the footer. So we'll try to complete everything inside this particular video. So let's go to the info section and have a look what we have to build. So you can see there is a border, basically a very slight border. Then we have a heading which we can create very quickly with the common class that we already have. Then we have this section where there is a logo, title and some description. So let's quickly get started. But before building this, let's create a new file here. So to create a file here, and I'll call this as info item, info items.js. So here I will declare an array to store my icon file, to store the title and the description, and we'll quickly map through the array to build this info item section very quickly. So I'll say export const info items. Now all these are info items, right? So this will be an array, and each of the object will be an ID, a logo. So from where I'll get the logo from? So I have already downloaded the icons. I'll copy this and I'll paste these icons inside my assets. You can download these icons from my GitHub folder, which I'll be providing link in the description, or you can download your own logos and icons online. I'll just quickly tell you my favorite site to download icons, which is Icon Scout. So I can just go, you can go here, you can download it from here, or you can try your own. Just search for the wallet icon, for upload file icon, and a bookmark icon. So I have the icons here. So for the logo part, I'll just say instead of logo, I'll call it icon. It will be better convention. Now icon, from where I'll get it? So I'll say require. I already told you that inside React, if you're using create React app, in the beginning of creation of your React app, you have to import the React file local assets like this only. So go to, not like this, go to assets, then go to icons, and the first one is wallet.png, wallet.png. Now for this, the section title is, I'll just copy it from here, set up your wallet, copy it, paste it here, and finally the section description, I'll just call it as description. I'll again copy it from here. Once your wallet, everything, copy it, paste it from here. Now I'll quickly copy this 2 more times. Now I'll change the ID to 2 and 3. Now for instead of wallet, the second icon that I'm using is of paper upload. Paper upload is U is capital, upload. You can check for the names here. Paper upload. So paper upload is there. Now I'll just copy this, copy it from here, paste it here, and copy the description as well, paste the description here. Perfect. Now finally for the third one, I'll copy the title, and I'll change the logo from wallet to final is bookmark.png, and I'll also copy this thing, copy it and just paste it here. Perfect. Just put a full stop. So now we have an array with all the info items that we are going to show in our box. So just I'll go to the info section, and the first thing that I always do is give it a class name of info section. Perfect. Now inside this info section, if you'll see, we have a heading first of all. Apart from box, I was going to say box, but we have a heading first of all. So I'll remove this and I will create a div, and inside the div, as usual, I'll create a span and I'll say create and sell your NFTs, and I'll give this a class name of heading gradient, gradient. Perfect. Now if you'll see inside our application, heading gradient is working. Create and sell your NFT. It's working fine. I'll give this a class name of info section heading. Perfect. Now I'll just go to my info section CSS file and I'll style these. So the first one is info section. So for this, if you'll see, there is a card border actually. So you see this border is there. So for that, I'll close this assets folder. I'll go to my styles, common variables. Here I'll declare one more variable known as card border. So again, why we use variables? Because suppose tomorrow you want to change the UI, so we just have to change the color values at one place. And also if you're implementing dark and light mode in your application, this will be much more useful. So I'm just using 282525. If you want to build more neomorphic borders, you can just go to neomorphism generator, and you can go to this particular website, and here you can just pick your color as black and you can create more subtle borders from here only. So I'm going to use this particular color, and inside my info section I will say that for the border I'll say border 2 pixel solid variable card border. Perfect. Now if you'll see here, you can see this is the border that I want. Now but before this I want some margin here, so I'll say margin from top and bottom I want 48 pixel, from left and right I want 0 pixel. So now this border is coming here. It's looking perfect, and yep, it's looking perfect. Next thing I want is some padding inside it so that my content is displayed well. So for padding, I want 36 pixel from top and bottom and 18 pixel from left and right. So this is how it looks. And I just want the border corners to be little rounded. So for corners, I will say border radius to be of 24 pixels. So 24 pixel will be perfect for me. Yeah, it looks good. Now, since the info section is done, for the info section heading, what I will do is I'll say font size of 36 pixel. This will do. Font weight of 700, just 700 will do. Yes, this is looking good. I want it to be at the center. So, but for center, I can just give one class here, which will be absolute center. Perfect. It is at the center now. Now for other things, I want it to have some padding and margin from the bottom icons, bottom content. So I'll say padding. So for padding, I'll say 12 pixel will be good. And for margin bottom, we want it to have some little margin from the bottom. So 36 pixel will be fine. So perfect. Now you can see there is some gap here. Here my other info item content will come. So if I go here inside my info section, so we had this div. Now I'll create a div here, and for this div I'll give it a class name of info section items container. Perfect. Now for each of the item that we have, that is info items dot map. Again, you can read more about map, filter and reduce, but here I'm only using map because this serves my purpose. Map takes out each element from an array and returns something. Whatever action you want to do, whatever function you want to call on it, you can call. So I'll say it as info item. Now for info item, I want to return an info item card. So I'll just create one more folder and I'll call it as info item. Perfect. Now for this info item, I'll create a file call as index.js, and I'll say RAFCE, which will be info item. Now save it, and also create a CSS file for this, which will be info item.css. Perfect. Now I'll import the CSS file here. Import info item.css. Perfect. Now save it. Now here, for each of the info item, I just want to pass an info item component that I already created. Now for here, I'll just say item is equal to underscore info item. I'm passing this info item as a prop to this info item. Now you must be seeing there are 3 info items because we had, I'll keep myself here. Now here. Now you'll see that we have 3 info item because we just had 3 things in my array for info item. Now we just have to go to info item. Now here, I'll say props. I'll say const destructure my item from the props. So item, which will be props. I'll save it. Now inside my div here, what I have to do is I have to see what all things I need. We just need 3 things. But before this, as usual, I'll give it a class name of, not children, I'll give it a class name of info item. Now inside my info item, first thing that I need is an image, which is my icon. So to remove the yellow line which is coming here, I'll say alternative text is going to be info section title. Let us say item dot section underscore title. Perfect. Now next, if you'll see, set up your wallet, upload and create, and the image is failing because we haven't passed the source yet. But before passing a source, I'll say give it a class name of we don't need a class name if you don't want to style the icon is already default given a size, but let's give it a class name of II icon, info item icon. Now we just have to pass the source. So I'll say source is equal to item dot icon. Now if you see, all the 3 icons are shown here. Now next to this icon, we need one more div. Now inside this div, what we need is item dot section title. Inside the curly braces, dot section title. Now, and I'll give it a class name of II title. Perfect. Now we just need a final div here. Final div, I'll give it a class name of let's say II description, and this will be item dot description. If you'll see here, everything is coming up perfectly. We just have to style it accordingly. Now I'll go to my info item dot CSS file, and here for the here for the info item that we have here, info item, which is the wrapper which is containing the icon, the title, and the description. First of all, I'll say flex direction to be column, but this won't automatically do anything because for here I'll have to give something called as absolute center. Now what this absolute center is doing, as you know, that it is giving a property of display flex, align item center, justify content center, and by default flex puts the content in a row, and I want it inside a column. So therefore this particular thing is there. Now you can see everything is at the center. Next, I want the text align to be at center. Now you must have seen sometimes the text starts from left, from right. I want it to start from the center. Now apart from text align, I want margin as well. So from margin, from top, bottom, I don't want any margin. I'll say 0 pixel. But from left and right, I want 28 pixel margin. So why? Because you can see there is some gap between both of these. And also, if you will see that it is approximately 1/3 of the entire div. So I will say a width to be 30%. That's it. Now for info title, which is II title, I want it to have a font size of 28 pixel, font weight of 600, and finally some gap from the finally some gap from the top. So what I will do is I'll say margin top to be 18 pixel. Perfect. Now just the description part is remaining. So I'll say II description. For II description, I'll say margin top to be of 18 pixel, and font size to be of 18 pixel. Now if you'll see, it is looking perfect. We just want all of these 3 in a row now. Now to keep everything in a row, I'll go to my info section and see the name of the container is this info section items container. So I'll go to my CSS file, and next to my heading, I'll just do one thing, that the name is is items container. Now here my display as flex and flex direction as justify content as space around. What space around does, it gives equal spacing around the content. So now you can see it looks exactly like how we wanted it to be, right? We just have to style the footer now. So we'll go to the footer component, and here I will say, instead of footer, I will say made with fire by Shivam. So I'll just copy it from here because I don't want to copy the fire icon from Google again. So I'll just say this, I'll save it. Now if you'll see, it looks like this. So to make it everything, this particular thing gradient, you know how to make it as gradient. I'll say span and span and I'll move everything inside the span. Command X, paste, and I'll give it a class name of footer and absolute center. Perfect. Now you can see it's at the center, but okay, so give a class name here. The class name will be obviously heading gradient. Now if you'll see, it is in the gradient. And yes, remove this extra space here. Go to your footer.file, just say footer. Now for this, I just want to change the font size, so it won't be much task. So I just want, so not font size, I want it to have margin actually. So from top, I want 62 pixel. From left and right, I want 0 pixel, and 24 pixel from the bottom. Perfect. Now you can see the footer is done. So this is it. The entire NFT landing page is done. In future, I might create one more video to make it responsive. It will be just one more task. But so far, you can add this project in your resume. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you learned how to use Flexbox, how to create scalable projects in React. And if you like this video, make sure that you are subscribing to my channel, because I'll bring more such content, more such projects in future. Again, thanks to Nutanix School for helping me make this video. See you in the next series, see you in the next tutorial where I'll be teaching you something for sure. Bye.